particular law.
Professor, you mentioned the former president himself. Think the former president should be charged with insurrection?
Well, he certainly gave aid and comfort to this group. He said that he loved them, he rallied them on, he cheered them on from his safe perch in front of the White House. I'm not going to judge the evidence in advance, but it seems to me that the Department of Justice would be remiss, and my other former student, Merrick Garland, would be remiss if he didn't take seriously the possibility of charging the former president with insurrection. After all, he has been sued under related statutes, both by Eric Swalwell and by Benny Thompson, members of Congress. Those lawsuits, I think, are very strong, and with all respect to one of my favorite former students, Jeff Toobin, I think the fact that there would be legal problems in doing this for the first time is not a reason not to do it. There's always a first time, and this was the first insurrection that we've had since the Civil War.
Well,
besides, all of the issues could go forward at the same time.
do you think it would give the former president political ammunition, though, if he were acquitted, as student Toobin suggests he might be? Then Donald Trump could walk around and say, "I was acquitted of it."
Isn't there a civil liberties question here, Larry? I mean, isn't criminal law is a very blunt tool. I mean, you're not talking about criticizing someone. You're not talking about charging them with money damages. You're talking about locking them up in prison. I mean, that's what criminal cases are about. To do so with a law that has almost never been applied, language. With it at the heart of its word, insurrection is not something that is commonly in parlance and that we all know what it means. Isn't that troubling to think that you could lock people up for that when we don't really know what it means?
Jeff, I think I taught you pretty well. You're making a good argument, but you're not convincing me. It seems to me that no one is above the law, and a law like this may have some blurry edges. There may be some close cases where it's not clear there was an insurrection. But we were all watching an insurrection on January 6th. Whatever insurrection is certainly includes storming the Capitol, killing guards, squeezing them behind walls, threatening to hang the Vice President of the United States, and interrupting the conduct of a serious constitutional role by the Congress of the United States, namely carrying out the Electoral Count Act of 1887. The fact that these laws were passed long ago seems to me to have no significance at all. They were passed long ago, they have served their purpose, but finally there was an insurrection, and unless we punish it as such, we are going to invite more such chaos and perhaps the end of democracy.
Well, let's be clear. I am not suggesting immunity for these folks. Our disagreement is about what precise charges that should be filed. There are lots of charges that have been filed, should be filed, will be tried, or result in guilty pleas from these cases. The issue is, should that include insurrection? And at this point, I don't think so.
Well, the reason it should is that, guess what? It was an insurrection. We are living through the era of the big lie, where we refuse to call things what they are. It seems to me that the only way to survive as a democracy is to start telling the truth. This was an insurrection by anyone's definition, and that's what makes it peculiarly dangerous. It's not dangerous just because there was some assault and battery and theft. It's dangerous because it was an attack on the very functioning of our democratic system, the selection of a new president. Unless we treat that as a distinct